Hi guys, I'm Lydia with LP's Borderless Equines. Today I want to cover how I like to have my gear put away. I've got a couple of halters, I have my training bridle, and I have my show bridle. I also have a 22-foot training line, and for people not very much accustomed to a lot of rope and a lot of having to handle multiple things at one time, it gets really tricky for some people, so I'm going to show you a couple little tips and tricks to handle that. Everybody likes their stuff put away a little different. Everyone likes them. They have their own specific way. So I'm going to show you my halters first. Here's how it should look. I like my rope to be in one loop here, so that when I go to catch a horse or take this out to the field, I can just go out to the field. We go out. It's not a big deal. It's not a whole bunch of stuff. With the stuff that I do with lots of Mustangs, I like to have a little bit of extra rope. So generally speaking, it'll be anywhere from 12, and this is a 16-foot rope. So my halter, go out, pretend to catch my horse here. All I have to do is pull my knot, go to halter my horse, and halter them just as normal. It shouldn't be a whole problem. I'll go to release my horse. And then what do you do with your halter? Me, I'll take it and I'll flip it, hold it like I'm holding it on a horse, over the horse's nose, and it goes up over their head like so. So, and take it like that. I'm going to hold this loop end flat, take the long tail, slap it over the loop. I always think about it like I'm going whop, I'm slapping the tail end over the loop. So then I'm going to reach around behind where the back of the horse's head comes. I'm going to go through the back of their head, pull that tail end back around and through, and then I only poke it through this loop halfway when I snug it down. Once that loop is good, all you have to do then is pull this tail that you've got left to then get it all untied to go catch another horse. So again, swat it over the flat side of your loop, reach through the back side of the horse's head area, and poke it through just a little bit. So then, with all your rope, you then have a little carry loop, for your rope. I've seen a lot of people that this is their general go-to. They bundle their rope up and they make a nice gigantic slot, and it looks something like that, which just does not look nice, and it drives me up a wall. So for me, I'll do two little even-ish, just like that, just a single loop, put it through my handle, and then I'm ready to go. It looks nice. It's not real bulky, but it's a decent amount of rope should you run into any situations. Secondly, I've got my 22-foot training line. Really good for a multitude of situations. This is what it looks like when it's all coiled up the way I like it. If I need it to come undone, I'll undo it, sit here with my horse and undo it, undo this. And then all I'll do is I'll throw it and get it all undone and loosened. And then you've got 22 feet worth of rope sitting here to not get tangled in, ideally. It's really tricky. There we go. So then, what do you do with this whole mess? Do you coil it up and whatever? Some people like to do that. Me, take my tail end, the floppy tail end with no snap. I'm going to hold it in my hand. Just going to hold it like so. Now, I'm going to go around the outside of my hand and continue to do so. There we go. Till we have about that much left, or if you want to do another little loop, you can. I'm going to leave it long for this one just so you can kind of see. So now you have a loop. Oh, well, the rope already knows what it's supposed to do. You have a loop, a bunch of loops. Take your tail end, or your end with your snap that you still have. You you'll take it and you'll start wrapping. It's important here to keep this open and your fingers through it so that you know where you're putting, because that's where you'll put your end of your snap. Snug it down and go up towards your hand. So you try and make this part smaller. And then I'll poke my snap through this hole where my hand is. Now we'll snug it all down and get it situated. Then you have 22 feet worth of rope situated and nicely coiled up. That always hangs nice. This is my show rig. People are different. It's not much, but you know, I like it. I like everything it has. I like everything it does, and it looks nice. For my reins, I'll take it and sits on a horse like this. All I'll do is think about it up over their neck. Goes up over their neck that way, goes over their neck that way. And I'll just follow the line with these reins so that it loops around and lays flat. I'm going to follow this one down and loop it around so that it lays flat. The end goal here, this end and this end over here should lay even. As even as you can get them. That's how I like to have that rig hung up. Finally, this is my preferred training rig. If I ever am at your facility, this is probably what I'll bring because this is my preferred type of rig. It entails, let's see, reins, as well as an 8 to 10 foot, what's called a Makati. So it's a lot for anybody who's not familiar to deal with. So when I go to take it off my horse, I've got my reins up over their neck. I'll take my Makati, swing it up over their neck so that it's sitting there with my reins. And not the whole thing. It'll be bent double, just like that. So that when I then can slide this up their neck to their ears and just take it all off together. So for this, it's really quite simple. I try to have my Makati and my reins all situated the way they're supposed to be. And I just put it all together to then hang it up. Ideally, I'll have everything laying evenly and nicely and looking nice. Check my head stall, make it all even. But then, when I go to bridle a horse, all I have to do then is take all of it, hang it up over their neck, and then go to bridle as needed. Taking it off, I'll put it all back so that it all stays the way it needs to, and you then don't have weird kinks and weird areas when you go to take the rope, because rope remembers and leather remembers, and it's important to treat it all right. So then that hangs up nicely, hopefully. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.